Is this working? Okay, hi everyone. So my name's Austin Rodriguez. I'm a Commissioning Manager in Adult Social Care, and I'm responsible for what we're doing around prevention and communities, and specifically the conversation today, Birmingham's Neighbourhood Network Schemes. So I suppose firstly thanks to the people involved for inviting me along, and Matthew and a few others, to sort of share with you what these are, what they're about, but also to share some of the real challenges and questions and problems that I think we'd just like to get a wider view on, in terms of what could we do differently, and also in a slightly different world, what would the council do compared to what we might have done before. So I guess the next bit. So everything which we talk about, I think everything which you talk about within your discussions, I think it's going to be linked back to this main vision, and this is the reason why we're doing Neighbourhood Network Schemes, doing other things like free conversations which people might have heard of, and other things that you'll see over the next couple of years. Is this idea of how can we almost create happiness, independence, and try and help people to, I suppose, create more fulfilling lives. We want people to live in their homes longer, we want people to feel part of their communities, and that's obviously addressing and identifying. At the moment, that's not happening as much as we'd like it to. So whatever your discussions are coming up, I suppose just keep this vision in mind. How do we achieve this? It's not just the council, how do we all try and work towards this? And then, sort of why? So why are we sort of moving to that vision? Why are we changing what we do? And I chose a few images to neatly sum up where we are. So the why, in terms of the bad side, is this here, for people familiar with it, it's called the Jaws of Doom. So this is our budgets are reducing and our demand is going up. And the gap in between means we're in trouble and we need to do something very different. If we don't do something different, then we're in a completely unsustainable position in terms of services and what we can do for citizens in Birmingham. Second bit around poor, I think being fairly well covered. Actually, the experiences of our social workers, experiences of people working with adult social care haven't been very good, and we need to try and improve those. We need to work differently with people. And then ultimately, at the end point is if we carry on, we are going to fall off a cliff, and we need to radically change what we're doing and change direction. I think building on that, the bottom bit is there's now a much better understanding about Birmingham, about the world, how these things sort of come together. So we know, for instance, that if we really focus on loneliness and social isolation, that can have a really huge and significant impact on adult social care. So we know it's a really big presenting factor to people in contact with social workers, public health colleagues, and this is sort of nationally within Birmingham. It's recognised it is one of the significant health issues now, loneliness and social isolation. So we know that, and we know we can focus on that and do a lot of good. We also have a really good understanding of what works and what doesn't work. So this isn't just in Birmingham, but across the country, internationally. There's lots of different countries looking at this, as well as the UK. There's lots of different places in the country looking at this, places like Leeds and Sheffield and Wigan, for instance, are doing some really good things around this type of agenda. And we're looking, we're listening, we're watching, and we're borrowing some of that to introduce it to Birmingham. And a lot of it does make sense. And then the other bit, I borrowed this from an organisation called Birmingham Community Matters, but I think it sums up where we probably know we need to get to better in Birmingham is focusing on all the little things, all the small groups, the micro groups, which have an income of about £25,000 of the small constituted groups, the groups that do things. And I think cumulatively, if we can support that whole network of community organisations and groups, we can make a really big difference. So it's, I suppose, moving from looking at the big things and the big issues and the big services to cumulatively lots of little things across all the city's neighbourhoods. I think if we can do all those things, we will start making a really big difference. So what are we commissioning? So Neighbourhood Network Schemes are about activities, not services. We fund millions of pounds worth of services. We need those services, lots of really good services. But what we don't necessarily do is, I suppose, fund and invest in support conditions in communities for people to get involved. So I talk about activities, it's things which people participate in, things which people do, rather than services, which are things which I suppose delivered to people consume. So we're trying to put a little bit more focus and investment around that side of things. Also trying to look at quality of life aspirations. So also recognise that some people do have long-term health conditions. We can't really do anything to influence those conditions, but we can work with people to make them feel better about the situation, actually focus on different things, focus on what can they do, focus on how do we improve the quality of life, how do we give them aspirations and goals, how do we give them hobbies, interests and things to get them more involved and more active. In terms of human and social capital, so what we do with people and communities so they can achieve more themselves. So it's both within sort of social category, looking at the idea of the sort of social and cultural well-being of a place. How much is there to do? How much isn't there to do? What can we do to really build that up and make sure we've got people and communities which are independent and active? And I think the thing underlying all of this is the idea that we do need to make sure we've got strong, vibrant communities, and that is about people participating in the community. This is about people being citizens. I know we use the word citizen quite a lot. Citizen is someone who's active, engaged, and gives something back, takes control of their own lives. So we're looking at how do we create the conditions for that, how do we support that, and move away from, I suppose, what's traditionally been happening in our research, because we deliver services and people consume those services. So we're just trying something a little bit different. And here are all the areas which we're interested around this sort of prevention, communities, neighbourhood network scheme space. So I've borrowed this from another local authority. I think it sums up the position quite well. So essentially we want people to be physically, mentally, socially more active, more engaged, more connected. People to have healthier lifestyles. And that might be because they're accessing all the benefits of ICE, which they can access. It might be that we're helping people with debt. It might be we're helping other people get into work because they want to do that. And actually that all helps. We don't want people to be socially connected, people to know their neighbours, which I know doesn't happen as much as it could do. We want people to know other people in their neighbourhoods, have places to go, things to do, people to meet. And importantly, to recognise if we can do all those things well, then people can live independently in their own homes for much, much longer than currently. Who are neighbourhood network schemes for? They are for everyone, but there's a few areas we're particularly looking at. Look at probably the bottom bit. So what we're going to be seeing neighbourhood network schemes do is there's a lead organisation which we're commissioning for each constituency. We've got a few people in the room already, so we've got Karen and Neil facilitating Perry Bar, I think Tracy is Sutton somewhere. And what they'll be doing is working with all the different community groups and organisations in that area to understand, well, what are they already doing? What types of skills and support can we help them with so they can sustain what they're already doing? And there's obviously a benefit to all the people, there's a benefit to the whole community. And within that, we know that some areas of the city receive more funding than others through some of the funders. We know part of that is down to actually fundraising skills, how people promote themselves. So we really want to work with all the community assets in a place for the benefit of everyone. And by doing that, we'll benefit all the people. Also want to do something different with older people coming into contact with social work for the first time. So part of our free conversations model is when you're in contact with us, our conversation will be different. It's not about your eligibility for services, it's around what you're interested in, what would you like to do, how can we help you to improve the quality of your life, what can we get you connected with, what do you want to do and get involved in. And through those conversations, we hope to then sort of drive, okay, well, what is the offer available to older people in the place where they live? If there's things which are there, which people just don't know about, then we connect social workers and people up to that. So, okay, if you're having these conversations, here's what exists in this postcode, on these doorsteps, in these neighbourhoods, and help people get people introduced. Where those things don't exist, so there are gaps in what people want to do, it just simply doesn't exist. Or where there are problems in people accessing things, it might be that activities or clubs or events are in the wrong place at the wrong time. Then actually that also gets fed into neighbourhood network schemes. So well, here are the gaps, here are the challenges, and how do we use some of the funding attached to neighbourhood network schemes to start to fund some of that? How do we start to build up the offer that exists so it's relevant, it's accessible and diverse? And then the third area is for those people who already have a social worker, those people who maybe have a long-term condition, and they do need services, of course they need services, but at the same time, can we suggest alternatives as part of these conversations? Are there things that we can help those people get involved with the same way we would do for anyone coming into contact for the first time? So hoping that we'll have something in place for all older people across every neighbourhood and community. That's the aspiration. It's going to be easier in some places than others. We know from the next conversation I'll go through that some areas are really rich in what's available. We know that other areas aren't so rich and we've got a lot of work to do in those places. And if this all works in the next couple of years, or this probably takes about 10 years to do well, then we're looking at 3 different areas of outcomes really. So citizens, We're looking at citizens being more socially active, physically active, having healthier lifestyles, being able to access debt and benefit advice, being able to access employment in their local area where that's appropriate. Carers feeling more supported, people being supported in their own homes. So with some of the work, and I'll go on to in a second, we know there's a real dearth of handy-person schemes and gardening schemes and all the little things which might help people make better use of their homes and gardens, for instance. So we want to try and make sure citizens are as active and included as possible. Behaviours and culture. So this is more about statutory agencies, and this is how we work together with other organisations, how we work with other services inside the council, also how the statutory sector and the voluntary sector work together. And we really want to see a genuine shift away from people focusing on problems and deficits and needs to everyone thinking about, okay, well, how can we collectively improve the lives of communities, improve the lives of citizens? How do we work differently? And then the other bit is around community. So what we want to try and achieve is that every older person has a relevant, accessible and diverse community offer in their neighbourhood. Also, there are opportunities for them to participate. It might be them participating with volunteers. It might be people just participating in terms of country, how decisions are made in that neighbourhood. And the assumption here is if we can get those three areas right, then we're making really good progress in achieving that central vision around independence, happiness, and living in a community. If we get that bit right, and the bit which underlying all this is we then start to see the jaws of doom close, we start to see demand reduce, demand change, we start to see the costs which are incurred by adult social care start to change. And that's the reason for doing this, but hopefully it's an end product of all the good work which hopefully will start to happen and is starting to happen. Well, on to the next bit, to tip yourselves really, and genuinely interested in people's views around